Across many cultures and from ancient times, there has been a consistent message suggesting that there is some type of hereditary accountability for our current actions. Let us look at ancestral karma. In Deuteronomy of the Old Testament, there is the mention, I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents. Mention of this again is found in Exodus and Numbers. The seventh generation principle exists in the founding documents of the Iroquois Confederacy. This is the oldest living participatory democracy on earth. It is based on an ancient Iroquois philosophy that, in every deliberation, we must consider the impact of our decisions on the next 7 generations. In India, Reverend Lahiri Mahashaya, the saint who introduced the modern-day practice of Kriya Yoga, made a similar comment in an interpretation of the Bhagavatam Gita's passage. He speaks about the liberation from hell for a deceased parent through a ritual of offering food. Lahiri Baba states that the fortunate student on the spiritual path who can perform this auspicious act ensures automatic liberation from hell for 7 generations preceding and succeeding that student. The idea that when someone becomes enlightened, he or she affects 14 generations, 7 before and 7 after, is found scattered in folklore and across ancient philosophies. To this day, ancestral karma has remained steadfast in our culture. We talked in our previous episode about how science is suggesting that our DNA is interacting with the stuff our universe is made of. Does the DNA provide any further hints on ancestral karma? We are told that the DNA is the genetic material passed from parent to offspring. It serves as information to direct and regulate the construction of proteins necessary for the cell to perform all of its functions. From the study of photons, we are beginning to accept that the DNA has so many more capabilities than what we have confirmed to date. There is an interaction between us through our DNA and the universe. What if the DNA not only passes information for cell performance, but also has many other capabilities? How often have we heard comments that some family member has behaviors and mannerisms that remind them of a deceased relative? We know that our DNA contains parts of our ancestors' DNA. What if our ancestors' karmic records are present in the DNA and that record is passed from parent to offspring? How would this fit with the 7 generations philosophy? Let us look at the science of creating a purebred animal. According to Dr. Chris Gabel, Veterinary Sciences, University of Minnesota, it takes at least 7 generations to establish a purebred new breed. Dalmatian breeders did this by crossing a setter to try and get rid of a genetic issue with uric acid in their kind. They had to have 7 generations to call the offspring purebred again. Each of us has at least 7 generations of our ancestors' DNA. We pass these to our offspring and they to theirs. At least 7 generations of them will have some part of our DNA. If karmic information can be passed down, then could this make aspects of our ancestors' karma now become ours to deal with? Is it fair to say that to clear our karmic debts, we need to remove theirs? In our search for scientific evidence for the existence of karma, we came across a publication by Jagal Dorje called Mathematical Proof of the Law of Karma. He uses a system called mathematical set theory to make his point. He focuses on the Buddhist interpretation of karma. However, at the time of this release, we were unable to connect with a scientist who understood this set theory. Therefore, we cannot validate his findings. John Edwards and Winston McCullough of Oregon State University have published articles on the mind-only school of Buddhism. They postulate mechanisms through which karma might operate, which share much in common with Western psychology, particularly in the area of social cognitive theory and construct activation. Very simply put, a person's own beliefs lead him or her to see and respond to the world in a particular way. If we carry hostility, then we find situations around us that make us angry. We respond to this reality as our truth. This is the essence of karma.